Yo, what is up, everybody? You know who this is. This is CLT here with a little bit of a surprise Monday night action here in the LOLMidwest League. So, three teams in Group A made the playoffs, and all three teams rock, paper, scissors to each other. So, therefore, we have some tiebreaker games going on here. And this is between InstinctCK and Coinflip, both returning teams. Both were actually number one seeds last split going into the playoffs, and even with Coinflip kind of switching up their lineup a little bit coming into the split, um, they still put up a really great fight this regular season. After week one they didn't have the greatest showing, but they went and they practiced. They slammed some nerds in some flex games, and really pulled out the big guns going to the back half. They finished off the regular season with 4 straight wins. So, but enough of that. Let's get into draft. Let me pull up the chat. Hey Ben, what's up? Yeah, so this match is for seeding. These two teams will play a single game. This is a BO1 game. Coinflip won the coin toss and elected to red side. And the winner of this game will play Femboys for the right to be the number one seed out of Group A. Femboys got the one seed in kind of this King of the Hill bracket due to their record against the rest of the group. So that's kind of how we got to this point. So yeah, again, enough of that. I'll reiterate that as we load into the game. But let's check out this draft here. Braum, Zaya, Galio, Swain, Talia, and Renekton getting taken out here. And then we see Vi getting taken away from Brandino. He's been an absolute monster on that pick. You have Coinflip taking the Tristana. That worked really well for Aristotelion. He is I believe, the only one that got a pentakill in the regular season on Tristana. Or no, I don't believe it was him, but Tristana did get a pentakill. And then we have what's being termed as the Geo Prow special in Elise, but Brandino's also shown that he has no issues playing that as well. So that's where we're at. We do see that Ornn being taken away from Eclipse and LeBlanc getting taken away from Good Boy, which anybody who's seen Good Boy's LeBlanc, it is dangerous. I would argue between him and Monk of the two of the best LeBlancs I've ever seen. They're absolutely insane. So we do see Brandino though picking up in the second part of the draft Xin Zhao here. So that does tell me Elise is going to go support. I don't know how I feel about Xin Zhao without any enchanters. I mean, he does have a spot, but also, like, he's diving into a Vi, Trundle, and Azir. Trundle and Azir being picked after Xin Zhao was showing. So I feel like Instinct's draft overall is very them. They do enjoy fighting. They do play these team fights very well, and they're just overall a really talented team. So we do see Don on this Nico, and Good Boy will pick up the Azir into the Ahri, which again is just fairly neutral favored. Ahri's very easily can push the wave in after the first couple backs with double Qs, but Azir has no issues taking the wave himself. So, but then we see the sorry about that, the Malphite uh, last pick here, which Malphite has been like a sneaky good top lane pick. It seems like every time we've seen a Malphite in this league, he's always done very well. There's been an occasional game or two into like Mordekaiser, um, where he's definitely been punished quite a bit in lane before he could get off the ground. But a lot of other times we've seen, especially like an AP start on Malphite. Get a lot of value here, and I actually think the AP Malphite here at the start gets a decent amount of value. You know, it's very threatening to the Azir. The Kai'Sa and Nico are also pretty squishy overall. So, um, I do think there's definitely some value there. The thing that scares me though is Malphite into Trundle. Uh, we've seen Trundle pop off in the last series. That was InstinctCK versus Femboys yesterday. That created this tiebreaker situation. And actually, it was Arctic on that Trundle, if my memory is correct. So, let's see if he can kind of repeat the pressure that he put on the map yesterday. He unfortunately did not come away with a win. But, you never know. Maybe this time he kind of looked at the replay and wanted to see some stuff from it. So, we have Instinct on blue side, Coinflip on red side here. I think one thing to note is this mid lane matchup. You have Good Boy on the Azir, which Good Boy has always been putting up monster stats. He's always been super aggressive in lane, and overall, he was an all-star last split as well here versus Krieger, who has always been a very consistent, stable point to the Coinflip lineup. When they change the lineup around him, he still just performs, and he's very just stable. He never really gets too behind in lane. He almost never gets solo killed. The man is just kind of a rock here in the mid lane, which I absolutely have the utmost respect for here. So I'm very, very curious to see how the matchup goes. Bot lane also going to be a very, very volatile matchup. So I want to see if the junglers start top and move their way down to the bot side. Because Tristana, Elise, Kai'Sa, Nico. Like, Tristana, Elise is a very all-in lane. If level 2 gets hit by them early and Elise lands a cocoon, like, whoever gets a cocoon is just getting blown up. But also, we can see some funny things from the Nico with the W, you know, being able to scout, or even, if timed, absolutely perfect, can tank a cocoon or an Elise spiderling. So, you know, very curious to see how Don's going to play this. So, see, we got a couple viewers in here. Has anybody got any opinions on this draft here? What they prefer, what they think? You know, this is just one game here. Again, both of these teams have already made playoffs. We can actually, if I can pull it up quick enough. Here we go. So, as you can see, Femboys, Coinflip, InstinctCK, all 4-1. They have all done the rock, paper, scissors versus each other. So, we got to the spot with Femboys 2-0ing Instinct yesterday. Instinct started off the split with 4 straight wins. But Femvoys sported a slightly better match record overall in Group A. So Coinflip and Instinct are playing a 1-game tiebreaker to have the right to play Femboys for the number 1 seed in Group A. Again, the number 1 seed in Group A does get a first round bye in the playoffs. So, that is how we got to this. And, I have no doubt that this is going to be a very explosive, very volatile, and overall a very, very entertaining game by these two teams. It's two teams that I absolutely respect the hell out of. Last split with the previous lineup, I did get a chance to play Coinflip, and they are very, very just. They just love the fight, and they always pick fights where everything's like kind of leaning towards their favor. They do play to their moniker of coin flipping, but I don't think it's like a true 50-50 coin flip. So. So yeah, we got about 30 seconds here before we get into the game. I'm going to go ahead and pause the music real quick here. I found a creator safe playlist for Riot that should not get flagged for any copyright infringements. So, nice of Riot to create that list so we can use it here. So, some things that are already kind of stand out in Malphite, going with the Grasp of the Undying, so definitely looking to get tanky. We see Trundle, though, going with lethal tempo here. So when Trundle gets on Malphite, it's going to be impossible to peel him off. Good Boy, though, taking the Grasp on the Azir, so he's looking to get pretty tanky. Which I honestly think is the right move, because until Tristana, gets off the ground and starts like spiking here in the late mid game to early late game, the side of Coinflip I think is going to be low damage, with one exception. If Geo Prow gets off the ground and gets to an early Storm Surge, Elise just does a metric, just shit ton of damage. So, it'll be very curious to see how that goes. Eclipse also going with the lethal tempo on Kaisa. I feel like that's a pretty interesting one. And I'm also very curious to see if Krieger goes the Roa build, or goes like more of the burst penetration build on Ahri. We've seen the Roa build kind of fall off recently.
Welcome to Summoner's Rift. "30 seconds until minions spawn." Minions have
So
spawned.
we see Brandina putting down the ward to potentially spec out a late invade here. And he backed and went towards the red trinket. So, let's see. If he found where Vi put that ward there in the river, he could go clear it and potentially get an early level 2. I believe a ward will get you level 2. Or I'm sorry, maybe level 3. I'm not sure how it works in the jungle. we see Malphite though going the W start here. He was not afraid to brawl with Arctic, though Arctic's passive is going to give him health back as he last hits. So I feel like Trundle's perfectly okay with that start. And he also popped the pot as well. Malphite W is going to be down here. We see the level 2 coming out of Eclipse and Don here. Also level 2 coming out of Arctic. Matthias has to burn the flash up top after that pillar. We do see some deep wards coming out of the bot lane here. So Arctic getting his back stopped here. We see Brandino though coming up here in his top lane. He got the knock up here, and that's a first blood. That was a very, very well played gank by Brandino here. You know, not burning the flash or the dash. But he also is now going to lose his whole bot side camp here as Vi is coming in. Brandino with no flash. This is going to be a much harder gank to pull off here. Oh, but nice charm from Krieger here. Making good boy have to burn the flash. Vi did not go after his bot side camps. We see Don coming up here, getting the E. And that is a kill over the good boy off of Brandino. So support moving up here. Eclipse though taking quite a bit of damage with the support leaving lane. And now Vi is invading this bot side jungle. So now Brandino, after the first blood top side, is going to get his whole, not his whole bot side, but at least his blue buff taken here. Oh, nice E overall by Don. Getting a double Q proc. So, we see Instinct is up right around 400 gold here. Despite Coinflip getting the first blood. Well played by Don overall. Ignite coming out onto Aristo from Don. He burns the barrier. Avalon is pathing bot side here. Tristana ends up getting the back off here. Geoprow got his back stopped, had to flash away, and very nice use of the repel to dodge what could have been a potential stun coming out of Nico here. Seeing Brandino making another visit up here. Arctic with no sums, level 5 here. And Matthias gets the takedown there, which I think is actually super massive for this matchup. Good boy kind of poking down Krieger here. But overall, Krieger's still fine. You know, only down 5 CS, which isn't terrible. I do see the Ruby Crystal coming out, so a potential Roa coming out of Krieger. Judging from my Q damage, I think Malphite is maxing W here on the Malphite. I mean, now we could tell that with that big grass proc plus the W auto here. He does have the Bramble Vest here, so he's going to be able to stop a lot of the healing coming out of Trundle here. Tristana ends up going forward and losing quite a bit of health here in his trade overall. See the Cocoon go just a little wide here. Both junglers are in the bot quadrant. Geoprowl taking a little bit of damage here. See Arctic using the ult here on Malphite. Lethal tempo is up, but that's Malphite getting out without burning anything. See Demolish proc gets good boy a turret plating here, so he's definitely going to start accelerating quite a bit. Avalon and the rest of his bot lane here taking this dragon. Krieger just bleeding off a little bit of CS there. We'll have to back, low on health and mana overall. But we see like Matthias actually doing really, really well overall in this lane. We do see Geoprowl backing and now on the map here with Grubs coming up here in less than 10 seconds. I think Coinflip's going to make a push to go after this Grubs here. Tristana picking up a wave and will probably push bot. I'm not 100% sure if she's going to roam here or not. We do see Arctic backing. He will have TP up here. But we see Coinflip has already started on these Grubs here, and it doesn't look like with Avalon on the other side of the map that they're really worried about this. I do like Coinflip throwing a lot of resources at Grubs, knowing that if Trundle ever gets ahead, he's going to just absolutely maul these turrets. It was interesting little tactic there from Coinflip that they were waiting to last hit the Grubs to kind of fool Arctic a little bit. Oh, but a really, really nice gank overall here onto Tristana. Vi just kind of waiting for her to walk back the lane and then using the Kai'Sa ult to join them in the back line here. So, kill going over to Avalon. Brandino here back on this top lane. Malphite ult comes. Flash is up for Arctic, but he doesn't seem to be going, like, looking to retreat. He does flash, though, into the river. I'm not sure if that flash was the best use of it. But now he ends up being 0-3 as Brandino's came up all 3 times here to put resources into this Malphite. Let's see how this will end up working. Did that Q Spider not do damage? Oh, Tristana fails to jump over the wall. Okay, we've all done it. Oh, that would have been a big pickup. I think Eclipse might have to burn both summoners there to get out of it. That doesn't feel bad. Oh, very well played by this ball lane of Coinflip here. Knowing that the explosive charge was going to take out that minion Geoprowl through the cocoon while the Tristana was in the air. You can definitely tell they've played this lane a couple of times. So, overall, about a 300 gold lead. Neutral objectives are 1 apiece. Got Hextech Drake over to the side of Instinct. Coinflip got all 3 Grubs. Matthias is actually doing really well. We see Good Boys almost at 10 CS a minute right here against Krieger. Krieger not having a fun time here. Down 27 CS with a wave at his turret here. So probably down about 15 after it's all said and done. Nice repel overall by Geoprowl. Well played overall. The flashed away from the Nico ult here. So Don forcing Geoprowl to burn a summoner there at minimum. And watching just how slow paced this game is so far compared to, like, you know, how these two teams can play, this could break open at any second and start to become a bloodbath. But there's a lot of respect, I feel like, between both of these teams here. Nice charm by Krieger there. Though can't capitalize on it. We do see Avalon starting up this dragon here. His bot lane's coming up. Geoprow sitting in the brush here. Don may end up falling here. Nice repel overall. Geoprow, though, falling to the Vi ult here. Krieger has one more ult charge left. Brandino going in on Good Boy here. See, Good Boy, okay, ends up having to burn the ult. Matthias coming from top lane, though. And I think Coinflip has pressure and tempo for this dragon. Though this will give Arctic a chance to get a plate, maybe two if he has Demolish. So really well played by Coinflip. We've seen kind of where the Geoprow special came in. You know, Brush Cheese, Don, and almost one-shotted him just with Sork Boots Altinator. Both ults down from mid laners. But we do have a potential setup here with Brandino looking mid. Plate's falling down. Oh, maybe? Don ends up getting one onto Geoprow here. Don end up having to burn the ult, which we missed. Good Boy spacing out the charm really well here. They end up getting a plate. Avalon's kind of sitting here in the wait. And Brandino jumping on the Avalon here. Avalon did charge up the Q, but didn't get knocked up. Oh, but the Q did come back up. Good Boy's ult is not back up here. Oh, and a double kill going over the Brandino. Well played. This mid-jungle duo for Coinflip here. And that now gives them the gold lead by just a little under 1,000 gold. See Geoprow and Brandino up here again. Arctic gonna get ganked one more time, looks like. He's just trying to get rid of the wave here. Geoprow ends up getting one. Krieger does have to burn the ult, though, to dodge Don's ult. Taking quite a bit of return damage from Good Boy here. So, Rift Herald coming up. Avalon looking to kind of make something out of this. Though Geoprow and Brandino had a monster load of damage here. Trist ends up having to ult away Kaisa. Kaisa ends up burning Flash in this fight as well. Oh, and Eclipse just takes down Aristotelion there. And gets the first turret, so now this is going to end up coming down to objectives here. We see Coinflip has 2 monster objectives here. Actually 3. They do end up getting the feats of strength here. And immediately you see them build completed Berserkers from Tristana. You see the upgraded boots coming out for Geoprow. And he also on this back got a completed Storm Surge. So this is going to be a really, really painful Elise to deal with here. Yeah. And he just tried to limit test there, I thought, a little bit. Brandino, though, going after Arctic. Arctic does flash away, but we see Matthias still running down here. He ends up ulting, or an Arctic is going to fall again. Now this is an unfortunately an 0 and 5 Trundle. Eclipse ends up trading health bars there with Trist here, but she had a way out after proccing the fully charged explosive. She jumps out. So I know the bot lane for Coinflip number wise hasn't been doing bad, but Geoproud's still affecting this map quite heavily. We do see Kaisa on 2 items here, but the top side of the map is super beefy, with Brandino already having the ninja tabbies, and this Malphite being just extremely tanky overall. So you see Coinflip starting up this dragon here. Doesn't look like Avalon wants to pressure too much. Good boy pushing for this turret here. There is no MR out of this Malphite, but he's still, pretty tanky overall. This is kind of that part of the game where it feels bad to play a mage. You press tab, you see the tank up top has no MR. But big turn overall by Don here. Brandino's diving into 3. Krieger trying to dance around this fight, but Arctic ends up getting the last hit there on Geoprow. As Don turned that fight very, very well with that Nico ult. You gotta respect the Nico with the Proto belt as well here. So, right now, 7 kills and 9. Less than a 1,000 gold lead. About 800 gold overall for the side of Coinflip. They do have 2 dragons here. And also the fact that they're stacking, potentially stacking Mountain Drakes with this Malphite is pretty insane. I do look, though, for Malphite to start speccing into some MR. We see Good Boy's just going to end up putting out more and more damage overall here. So he's going to have to itemize to jump into Azir's face quite a bit. Good Boy's still putting on a clinic here on CSing as he's over 10 CS a minute overall. So he's trying to get to these spikes much quicker than anybody else here. A little bit of a trade there by Krieger. I still think this tower probably falls. See, Otacon is in the bot lane, and if I've just seen that correctly, it looked like Xin Zhao's trying to solo Otacon here? Am I seeing this correctly here? He is trying to solo the Otacon. Let's see if Arctic sniffs this one out. He does here. And now you see the side of Instinct coming here. This could make or break the game here. It's still pretty close. Only 1,000 gold for Coinflip. You see, oh, Lord Tristana just dumping on the Don's face. He ends up getting one back in return here. Good boy TPs and pushes them out of the fight. Geoproud trying to go after Eclipse. He does end up getting it with Krieger's help here. But Krieger's now left alone with Arctic on the bot side.
Blue team has scored an ace.
And it ends up being an ace for the side of Instinct. I did not see... Okay, Brandino did get Otacon here, so... the Otacon sneak was very ballsy, but ended up working. The impending fight, though... It's a tough one to deal with, especially the way Good Boy's itemizing Leandry's into Rylai's Crystal Scepter here. We see Frozen Heart almost done here for the side of Malphite, which I think is going to be a pretty big pickup overall. Like, everybody on the InstinctCK side has some form of attack speed scaling. Even the Nico as well with the W. But I'm still wanting to see like a lot more grouping and team fighting out of Coinflip, but I don't know if they feel like they can with how accelerated this Azir is overall. Tristana ends up getting the bot turret, and Matthias ends up TPing bot side. Most likely to set up for this dragon. Tristana ends up having the back, does get the IE on this back, so I think that's going to be a pretty big pickup overall for this fight. Trist will grab this mid wave, and this may actually give Instinct this chance to get some tempo onto this dragon. See Matthias taking a boatload of damage from this Azir already. Avalon misses the Q on the Brandino. Geoprow misses the Cocoon. Brandino ends up going in. Good Boy has a big ult here. Oh, what an engage by Don Don with the Flash Proto Belt after Good Boy's ult here. Everybody else dive in the back line. And it's a pretty big jump on for Coinflip, but Arctic still ends up carrying a lot of this fight here. He ends up getting 2 kills. Tristana gets 2 kills. And what a very, very explosive fight here overall. TP and Flash used by Arctic. And as crazy as that fight is, we're tied 15-15. Gold's only 1,500 in favor. Well, now 1,000 gold in favor. Tristan's going to end up having to run out here. Oh, nice pillar overall by Arctic. And Tristana. Oh, is this the 007 moment? Nope. No, but did waste enough time overall. She still has yet to back, so you're not going to have an 80 carry for this dragon fight. Brandino having to burn ult is pretty big here, but he's kind of left alone, and he ends up falling. Krieger is getting jumped on here by Good Boy. Kaisa ends up diving the backline. Oh, and Krieger returning quite a bit of damage here. Ends up having to burn the cleanse on the Eclipse here. But Avalon's going to end up soloing this dragon, so Instinct ends up running away, running to this fight, gets one and another dragon here. What a very just methodical game by both these teams. I will say Tristana is starting to hit that point where, you know, her kind of weakish mid game is being surpassed. She has 3 items overall. Kaisa also has 3 items. Don Don getting completed the Shirelia, so he's going to be much faster. And actually, you're seeing Arctic now with all of the side laning he's been doing. He's the first of 3 items when it comes to these top laners. As much pressure as Good Boy's been putting on Krieger this whole game, just, you know, going back to laning phase, Krieger's been doing very, very well. Again, we noted that in the load up, just how stable Krieger is. Haven't had the chance to lane against him. He just doesn't really overstep anything. He doesn't take too many chances, too many fights. Like, he's just there to just be a very, very stable mid. His champ pool also supports that quite heavily. Good Boy using the turret here is quite interesting. Both mids just kind of trading health bars and backing here. Though Krieger does have the wave. Oh, but Vi ends up using the ult here on the Tristana. Nice flash for Arresto. But Eclipse ends up backing. Don Don ends up turning on to Brandino here. Brandino has ult up. Oh, Lord, Don Don. Bye. Geoprow just ends up blowing him up. Geo waiting for some of the cooldowns to come up. Matthias is pretty tanky overall. And Geoprow almost takes out Avalon, but Arctic ends up kind of carrying this fight again. He gets 2 more kills. And now we see Instinct turning onto this Baron.
A summoner has disconnected.
We see a pause here, as it looks like Avalon has unfortunately DC'd. So hopefully this will not take too long. Okay, no, it did not. So we might see a touch of a, yep, there we go. Let the client get back to its 3-minute buffer. Come on. Don't do this to me. Please work.
A summoner has disconnected.
Alright, I think... Are we good? Oh... Riot! Damn it, Riot. This whole week, the spectator just feels broken. Oh no. Oh no, no, no. Because it was a regular custom game and not a tourney code game, it doesn't show up in match history. I can't even see the results of it. Oh no. Give me a couple minutes before I fry out. Yeah, I know the screen is black, so they ended up having a pause, and after the pause, the spectator then had to re-catch up to the 3-minute buffer, but when it did that, the spectator crashed. When I exited, the game was over with. But when I go to their my friends list and try to scout and pull up the game, the replay, it's not on their match history because it wasn't a tourney code game. It was just a regular custom game. So I don't know who won, and I have no way of streaming the last couple parts of the game. I'm trying to see if the people who played in it, if it's on their match history, and if they can send me the replay. It will be on their match history. Like I thought so as well, but it is not showing up. I have Geo Prowl, I have Brandino, I have Don Don, I have several members of both teams here. It is not shown up. I really don't want to ask who won because I don't want it to be spoiled. And actually, I have been exchanging messages with GeoProw. He has it in his match history, obviously, but he's not even able to come into the replay. I'm beyond pissed right now. It didn't happen. Here, let's at least go to this. Okay. I think they're going to try and send me the replay, if there is a way to open up a replay. I think there is. What that method is, I do not know. Okay. I think I just had the replay file sent over, so bear with me on this. Okay.
CLT.
Yo, yo.
So my sharing screen is apparently awful for some reason, but Avo said that he'd be willing to like watch the replay and then have you like spectate his streaming through Discord.
Yeah.
You want? Would that
Yeah, I
work?
just need the like Baron and afterwards is all I
Okay.
need, just
Also,
the last few minutes.
I don't know why Avo didn't just join this channel, but like he said, pull him up, I guess.
I'll go
If you
down to
can,
him.
just okay, sure.
Yeah.
All right. So
What's up, gentlemen?
hello.
Is it this is the patch where I feel like everything's spectator related has just been absolutely fucking awful.
Right. Let me see how. Tell me how it looks for you.
It doesn't look too bad.
All right. Where do you know how far along you were?
It was you guys just took Baron. Okay, let me.
Oh, does it look weird because of my screen?
No,
It looks
no.
fine.
I just gotta make
Alright,
another
just-
scene in OBS just so I can
Just took Baron,
Wait,
right?
do you have an ultra wide, Avo?
Yeah. Does it look weird?
Oh shit! I didn't realize.
Is it? Is it? If it's
That's not
fine,
too
I'm
bad.
keep going.
It's not too terrible.
I could change it, but yeah.
Hold on, let me window capture. That's what I'm looking for. There it is. Okay, give me just another minute. Alright, I got it here. Go ahead and let me double check the stream. It's not the prettiest, guys. Rurika, remake it if it didn't happen. No, that's not happening. Alright, I'm good to go if you would like to hit play, good sir. So we seen this team fight. And then it was like right after this, I think the pause happened. Which just effed everything up.
Oh, but yeah, you're right. It happened like right after.
Yeah. You guys end up taking Baron. Yeah, like right at this exact moment. Yeah, okay, so yeah. Right when it came back from the pause, there's the pause, and then you guys start back into the game, and then the spectator kind of loses its mind of like, oh, we still gotta have the 3-minute buffer, so we're gonna buffer it a little bit. And then it starts back into the game, but then that's just right where it crashes. So, I just hate the spectator. Last split, I had 0 issues. So, I'm like really fried out over this after.
No worries.
I wonder,
Yeah.
Are there ways to share a downloaded replay?
I believe there is. Don sent it over to me, but it tried to open it up for me in VLC. So I gotta probably pick how I want to open up those file types. I just gotta Google it. Or there's somebody way smarter than me who can do it. But oh, nice pick there. Krieger still has ult. Ooh,
She
nice
gets away.
flush. Oh, so much
I was
resources.
I was telling these guys that my heart was like pounding out of my chest flashing that ult.
Yeah, pressure do get to you sometimes like that.
Yeah, good boy was yelling at me, no, stay, keep pushing, and I was like too stressed out. I just finished the recall. I'm like, no, I'm not kidding.
That's fair. That is fair. Yeah, good boy on 3 items with Zanya's or with Seekers is big. You're already starting wits in. Watching Trundle ult these champions that like reduce in size when you take a stat is quite hysterical.
Yeah. Yeah, well, I was telling these guys too. Oh, I'll wait for the team fight.
Oh, nice pick. Vi going on an adventure with the Kai'Sa behind. Ah, okay. So this is the end angle.
Yep. I was telling these guys a little fun Trundle tech is the ult steals resistances as calculated at the exact moment you hit the ult. So like ulting Malphite before his shield breaks gives you 40% of the increased by 90% value. And so like if the shield breaks, it drops, and then after that the cleaver's applied. So Malphite started the fight with like 740 armor or something and ended it with 60.
Isn't there the reason like Trundle's been really good and popular as a counter into like Sejuani? Because like when she
Yes,
procs
exactly.
Aftershock, when Aftershock and her passive falls off, doesn't she almost have like next to 0 or even negative armor?
Yeah. Yep. Same with like Ramus Yield and like other, I don't know, other stuff like that. And also like little piece too is like if Mordekaiser ults you, you ult him afterward because you steal his increased stats in ult. Like weird shit like that. But
You
Well,
need a screenshot, CLT?
if you don't mind, I would gladly take a screenshot. That way I can just throw it in there. But I do greatly appreciate it. And honestly, that felt like the most like on edge league game I've seen in quite a while. It just felt like you guys were really just respecting one another so much there in the early and mid game.
Oh
Um,
yeah, it did feel like that a bit. We did play a little
yeah.
like bar.
No, I mean these guys like credit where credit is due. These guys always like give us a good show. Like I know I know we've beaten them, but it has not been easy. So credit to them. Always a fun match.
hmm And now you get to um, have the rematch of yesterday versus
And
Femboys.
boys, yeah,
Yep.
What's
looking forward to it.
yeah, and they'll be, I believe, well, depending on the match, they should be at full strength as well.
That's
So,
great.
actually, both of you guys should be at full strength. So that's gonna be an absolute banger. So, but
Yeah, no, we're excited.
yeah, I'm excited. I'm super glad we got to cast this game, and since you guys are still officially in playoffs, have you guys looked at some of the other teams from the other groups? Is there anybody you guys are like wanting to face? Or?
I mean, I'm just excited to see who we get paired with because like there's a couple of teams that I know nothing about other than that they're winning a lot. And I'm curious, like I'm gonna have to do some scouting once we get our first round matchup. But like I don't know. I feel like last split, at least like in my head, I don't know about I can't speak for my whole team, but in my head I was doing too much of the like, oh I can't wait to like play this team and then this team and then this team in finals because they look like the best. And I got like way ahead of myself, so I kind of want to like we're playing Femboys on Thursday. and that's what I'm focusing on. And then I will be on vacation, and then I will know where we're playing when we get back. And that's about it.
Well, fair enough. I'm excited to see the obviously the tiebreaker, you versus Femboys. And then this weekend we should debut the playoff bracket. I think either like late Saturday if all the tiebreakers get played, or like sometime Sunday. Um, and then we'll have a playoff preview show, and maybe we can get one of you guys on to talk about the matchup. Or if you beat Femboys, you just get on and you get to heckle everybody else because you get a first round bye.
Well, that'll be plan A. And but yeah, cool. So I gotta head off, but
Well, thank you.
it was fun.
I will head out as well. Leave you guys be, but congrats on the win.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thanks
Take
for the
care.
stream.
Yep.
Bye.
And that is Avo and Arctic from InstinctCK as they end up taking the dub off of Coinflip here. Coinflip will be the third seed representative for a very, very competitive Group A. And InstinctCK will get their rematch versus Femboys, which he kind of alluded to as happening on Thursday. And we'll see what times it ends up being. If I can make it, then we will cast that as well. But appreciate you guys showing up and hanging out with me, and we'll see you next time.